Hello everyone, MFGAMETIME here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to your favorite show, MF Game Time, the show where we spotlight games that interest me all around the internet, usually focused on roguelites. We've had the privilege, the blessing of being able to spotlight two other games this week, and we're closing out with Risk of Rain's Returns. I am a massive fan of Risk of Rain 2. In fact, I learned about it on one of my charity streams. My friend sent me the game as a gift, and we ended up playing it for like 12 hours the first year Risk of Rain 2 came out on the charity stream. That was my first time playing, and I was immediately hooked. Risk of Rain Returns is a remake of the first game. Think of this as the definitive edition of Risk of Rain 1. It is very different. It is a side-scrolling platformer roguelite rather than a 3D run-around shooting stuff roguelite. There are Providence Trials. These are fun little games where you have to complete a task within a certain time limit or with certain rules. I haven't touched these at all. I want to make some videos about these. What I've been focusing a lot of my attention on is just unlocking as many items as I can. This is the Logs and Trials tab, and each and every one of these items can be found on our run and all provide different buffs for our character. Some of them are locked at the beginning. For instance, I unlock whatever this is by reaching level 20, killing 12 enemies simultaneously with a gold-plated bomb, and so on. This has been a gigantic focus of my attention over on stream, and also just figuring out how everything plays together, because this game is so very different. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, and we'll get a run underway. With any luck, we won't die right away as well. We have several characters to pick from. At the beginning, you only have the Commander and the Huntress unlocked, but as you can see, we've been really trying to unlock everything that we can. I'm going to play the Huntress today. It's one of the easier characters to get started with because you don't really have to aim your attack. She just kind of locks onto stuff nearby. It is a little risky, though, because the Huntress is very squishy. Now, each character has skills that they start with, but more skills that can be unlocked by doing more runs. For instance, there's another auto attack here for the Huntress that I don't have yet. But I have unlocked the Laser Cyclone and the Warp Dart and enjoy those quite a lot. There are 3 difficulty sliders, but the difficulty of the game is going to be constantly increasing. Today, we're going to be playing on Rainstorm, the way the game was meant to be played. You read that down in the comment section before you leave comment. And there's also artifacts that can be toggled on and off for various effects, and these are also found in secret spots on runs. I actually really like Dissonance. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to go in with a pretty vanilla run. I'm also such a huge fan of Command. It lets you pick your own items on runs. It allows you to really test in theorycraft builds, and we've come up with some really, really cool ideas. So without any further ado, let's get today's run underway. If you enjoy our content, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and wish me luck. All right, as we spawn in, we are immediately next to a chest. There's an equipment thing off to the right. I think I'm actually going to travel off to the right side. As you load in, the very first thing you want to do is look for a teleporter. I want to show you one of the things that I do not like about this game, and I hope that it gets fixed with a mod or a patch in the future. And basically, it's the map zoom. Now, this might be a problem with the hardware that I'm playing on, and let's keep in mind that this is a remaster of an older game now, so maybe they didn't intend for this feature at any point. But I am currently zoomed out as far as I can be. I feel as though I have to play the game this way in order to find chests and move through levels effectively. One of the downsides of playing that zoomed in is that, well, can you see my character? I'm that little dot in the middle of the screen moving around. If I want to zoom in for something that's a little bit more cinematic for YouTube, this is actually pretty okay. I can at least see a floor beneath me. But effectively on the default zoom, I would only be able to see what was immediately to the left and right of my character, which led me to running these missions for really, legendary on our first pickup. That's awesome. Which led me to run very, very long missions because I had no direction. I didn't know where I was going. Our objective is to be as efficient as possible with our time, to loot as much as we can in the time that we are given, and then do the teleporter before things get too scary. If you look up at the top right of the screen, there is a stopwatch, and it is currently counting up. The longer we are in this run, the more difficult the run becomes. And that never stops. It's our job to stay ahead of the difficulty curve. Well, how do we do that? By gathering items, by doing teleporter events, and by leaving areas efficiently and quickly. So I just looted $22 over there. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this pretty clearly. This is a new event totem that was not in Risk of Rain 2. This is like an imp trial. If I kill all of the imps that jump out of this, we will be able to spawn an item for my character. That item is going to be a topaz brooch. This is going to give me a little barrier every time an enemy dies. Super good for our survivability. Once I get $34 more, I can do that again. The first item that we looted was the happiest mask. That is such a good item. The happiest mask, when we kill an enemy, can make copies of them, little ghosts of them that continue to fight for me. That's what you're seeing moving around here. We are fighting several lizards, but one special one just spawned in on the far side. He is an elite, and by the looks of things, he's a fire elite. They spawn with extra health, do extra damage, and have additional mechanics. The longer a run goes on, the more elites you will see. I'm just going to start the next imp event. This is a good spot for them because they all just kind of crowd in the corner. Makes it very, very easy. And I'll get my item. This is a sticky bomb. There is a small chance every time we shoot that we attach an explosive to one of the enemies that we are shooting at. And now that we are done with that little combat encounter, we're going to zoom out again and try to once again be as efficient as possible with our time. Teleporter is to our left. We're at the 3-minute mark right now. I'm going to go ahead and start the teleporter. One cool thing about Risk of Rain Returns, and presumably the original game as well, is that you don't have to stay near the teleporter for it to be completed. That is a Risk of Rain 2 idea. We're not playing that. So while the teleporter is charging, I can come way over here and start to loot some of those chests that we saw earlier in our run. That happiest mask that we spawned in earlier is creating a lot of allies to help us out, but I am worried they won't be able to make it up that hill. For our equipment item, we get saw blades. We shoot this out, it deals bleed damage, and then returns to our target. There is a 50 gold chest above me. I'm trying to make my way over towards that. I think this is some toxin thing. I don't actually know what this does. Maybe it's a dot. I do see a guy over on the right, kind of flashing green with poison. This is one of my recently unlocked items, so I don't know too much about it yet. The boss is dead and dropped another legendary. This reduces our cooldowns every time we get critical hits, which can be really, really good depending on the ability. I'm going to gamble at this totem here. Unfortunately, not getting anything yet. 47 gold does give me an item I've never picked up before. Activating an interactable grants a barrier. Fantastic. So every time we gamble, we get a little bit of a shield. Now, the teleporter itself is likely done by now, but I'm just going to check this last corner, because we're not going to be getting any more spawns after the teleporter is done. I want to spend as much money as I can investing in items. Good, we just got a little health regeneration. I'm going to gamble at this other shrine up here. I like my equipment, so I'm not going to swap that out. And now it's time to make our way back to the teleporter. Hopefully by the time we get there, we've spent about 5.5 minutes on this level. That's a little longer than I want, believe it or not. But I feel good about our power spikes. That little gong you just heard is the game getting more difficult. Good luck. Oh, I did spot a couple chests I didn't see the first time through. Bitterroot is going to give us a bit more HP. Very good item on the Huntress for at least being a little less squishy. That Topaz Brooch is also doing a great job. Now, as you can see, I'm not playing with the Artifact of Command or anything like that, so whatever items we find are the items that we find. It looks like in order to get to that secret, we had to run right from that chest there. I've taken a little longer to get back to the teleporter than I've wanted, but we're almost there. And now we're heading to level 2. I may not have this number exactly right, but I believe a normal loop consists of 5 levels if you wanted to get to the last boss. Looks like we have jump pads on our right. I believe we are in the right middle section of the map. This area, I would say, has, let's say, 6 sections. Top left, top right, top middle, and then the bottom of all of those directions as well. This guy's beating the crap out of me. Okay. But he did turn into a clone for us, so that's good. Our health is a little on the low side. These guys do have an attack that they're shooting at me. We found teleporter bottom middle. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to immediately double back. And I'm going to try to head top right. And we have a really nice circle we can just do around the level to get back to that chest. To get back to that teleporter super duper easy. So we have some decent damage over time. We have the ability to summon in ads. We have we have an okay amount of protection too, but we are missing AoE damage. And I would say that we're really missing some showstopper damage for bosses. What you're seeing on the right here, let me zoom in on it just so it's more clear. And again, I hate that I have to do this too. I'm sorry if it's difficult to see things. This item here, let me go ahead and use my saw blade. Wrong direction, unfortunately. This is a shop that lets me pick between a few different items. They had these in Risk of Rain 2 as well, but they were all in one kiosk. They were just a circular kiosk. They're just spread out here. It's still the same thing. The backup magazine is going to give me another use of my right trigger, which for me creates that boomerang that'll follow after me. Super good item, and if you dodge it, it can continue circling around to give you even more value. That's important because your character is the only thing that can proc items in this game, as far as I can tell. That's another very big departure from Risk of Rain 2. This means that if I want a bunch of rockets to fly off of my character, that boomerang is one of the best ways of making that happen if we find the rocket item. I'm going to use my teleport arrow to get up a level there. That was super convenient. Anything actually up here? Nope. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Hey, I suppose in editing I can zoom in on this so it's actually not as jarring for you guys. My character's currently taking up about 1% of my screen. I do see a chest underneath me that I want to get down to. A few chests underneath me I want to get down to. Let me continue checking the top up here, though. One nice thing about the Huntress as well is that her auto attack just keeps going. So if I'm on a flat plane like this, I can shoot pretty much indefinitely to the right. And if there's an enemy there, they'll take damage. We'll know about it pretty quick. Ooh, nice sticky bomb procs there. Chest here is going to give us a taser, chance to snare on hit. There is also a stun grenade that is a chance to stun on hit. Teleport up, grab this. Retaliate on taking heavy damage. I don't know too much about that item. I don't know how much it does or the percent of, like, do I have to take half of my health to count as a heavy hit? I don't know. I have no idea. We are at the 9-minute mark, and the game just got more difficult again. No chests underneath me. There is a drone to the right. I'm going to ignore the drone for now. I have heard that drones are really, really good in this game, but there's just a part of me that's always about, I need to be making changes to my character, not the kit. That saw blade should kill off those guys. Perfect. We'll drop down and loot this chest. We got a ukulele. This item in Risk of Rain 2, if you got a bunch of them, it could basically chain around the entire map. I'm very sad to report that is no longer the case. The rusty jetpack will give us a bit more jump height, as well as a little less effect from gravity itself. That's an awkward teleport arrow. I'm going to go ahead and grab the shark tooth here. That shark tooth will give us 10% of our health back every time an enemy dies, I believe. Each shark tooth you add adds another about 5% onto that. Okay, we made it back to the teleporter. Let's zoom in a little bit. A lot of enemies to my left. I am a little worried about that. Let's see what boss we are fighting. The magma worm. The magma worm almost... The magma worm died to our boomerangs being in its path. We were given the Guardian's Heart, which is going to help us mitigate some damage in the future. But you can see just how much damage these boomerangs can do once you let them loose. Especially if you're not letting them expire, if you're just microing over them like I am, letting them continue their loop over and over, it really adds up to quite a lot of screen clear. Now, that can proc all of the effects that all of our items do. So if we had a bunch of rockets, a bunch of bleeds, a bunch of, sticky bombs, it is proccing the sticky bombs, those would all be applying. The magma worm is a bit of a unique boss because it's so long, it kind of sets it up for failure in situations like that where I can just camp it with a rotating blade. Speaking of being camped, a lot of elites just spawned on me here, so I'm going to be moving to the right as fast as I can. Remember, we do not need to be near that teleporter in order to finish it. And I would argue that our run here wasn't as efficient as it could have been because we're just kind of standing around not looting anything at the moment. We have 15 seconds. I don't know if that's enough time for me to dip back over to the other side and maybe grab that drone. To be honest, I don't remember how far that drone was away. I'm giving up on that plan, and we're heading back to teleporter. I'm getting out of here as fast as I can. Thank you. Now, the gold that we have does get converted into XP. So if you do end a level with this much XP, that's not a big deal at all. Just go ahead and keep going. Your character's going to be stronger for it. This is another level that Holly does not like. It can be a bit difficult to navigate. I would guess I'm kind of in the middle of the map right now. So I'm going to drop down and start moving to the right. My goal is just to hit... What kind of an elite is this? We have some army dudes that just popped in next to us. My goal is to hit the side of the map as soon as possible. Oh yeah, they're little scuba divers with swords. My goal is to hit the side of the map as soon as possible to kind of orientate myself and then start figuring out how I want to loop from there. Let's make sure I open this container too. Fighting these guys did give me enough. Throw a couple boomerangs. It did give me enough money to buy our first chest, so let's pop that open and see what we get. We have the prison shackles. Slow enemy every time we attack them. Dodging is very, very important in this game. You may notice that I don't have teddy bears to protect my health just yet. There is a item similar to teddy bears in Risk of Rain 2. It's like a hood or something like that. I can't remember the specifics, but basically what it does is it allows you to have a chance of just straight up dodging damage. Now, this game is more of a platformer than Risk of Rain 2 is, so I don't think they want you mitigating damage like that all of the time. We just got another locked jewel. Oh, awkward. But, oh my goodness. This is my problem, I can't see anything! I'm gonna stand still, and I'm gonna shoot this off to the right. Perfect. Good. Let's get out of there. We saw the teleporter, so I do want to be quick to try to get back to it. Looks like we have some drones above us, some enemies chasing behind us here. Let me move back up to the top. That chest is 230 to our left, but we have this jewel thing that's supposed to give me money every time I interact with something. So I think if I open that container just above my character there that we just walked past, I might get even more money than normal. It's still not quite enough. Oh, I just spotted an equipment chest over here on the left side. I'm going to double tap this as fast as I can. Okay, I was worried it was... Oh, I didn't know that's how that was going to work. I thought that was a machine that I was picking an equipment from and it was going to cycle. Very similar to this one next to us, which has a question mark and cycles between choices. This is going to give me more attack speed as my health gets lower. And I'm going to double back for that other chest. Man, that equipment that's in there, what it does is it makes it so time freezes for 7 seconds. I actually think it's one of the strongest equipments in the game. Not only can bosses not react to you, you are literally freezing the timer at the top right, stopping the difficulty of the game of increasing. That's so crazy good. This chest is almost mine. As soon as these elites die, it should be. I did take a decent hit there, though. Let's be careful. And... keep moving. That's the new, I guess the old icon for the leech seed. So we're just going to get like 2 health back with every shot that we do. Zooming back out, running left, we see a drone recycler just underneath my abilities there. We're not going to go anywhere near that. What that allows you to do is if you have 3 of the same drone, if you have been investing in little robot friends around the map, you can combine them into a better, higher tier drone right there at that kiosk, which does improve their effectiveness quite a bit. 1 really strong drone is definitely better than 3. The downside of it is that they get so expensive to revive. I'm going to use my trait here and get the little low on health. I'm going to have to climb up pretty quick, try to dodge this shelf thing. I don't know what that is. Another sticky bomb. I believe we have a 20% chance with each shot to apply that sticky now. I'm going to teleport off to the right and descend, get off of this upper area. I feel like we spent too much time there. We do have another chest to the left, but this area is looking like a dead end. Let's teleport over really fast. Grab the infusion. Every kill I get is going to add some max HP. And again, another really good item for the Huntress. And dip away from that elite that was spawning in behind me there. No, thank you. I think from here it is probably in our best interest to head to the teleporter. I don't see any way of connecting to the bottom left side of the map right now. Oh, one thing I find really odd, that was a great example of the Huntress's auto attack, is like for every enemy, it just kind of locks on, right? Every other character has to look the direction they want to shoot. But like those little floating enemies on the right, they just bypass the lock entirely. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just shot my bleed off to the right. These bosses are very big and very slow. I might just be able to keep them at arm's reach if we are lucky. Boomerangs are out. Not my best start with boomerangs. I'm going to let that one come back just so we can get another cluster of them going. These ads are looking pretty intimidating at the moment. We're kind of waiting on cooldowns for the double boomerang, and then I'll go back in. All right. 1 and 2 all behind me. Perfect. I'm just going to run this straight through the boss. Oh my God, I took a massive hit there, but so did they. I'm going to need to make sure I'm killing ads to recover some of that lost HP. I'm thinking about just hanging out here. At least those crabs can't reach me. These bouncing guys will be able to. We have double boomerang again. I also have my trinket. So boomerang. Jump over and guide them this way. Oh! That's so sketchy. Boss is dead. Teleporter is not charged. I should start looking around for another chest. Can you see why I don't like the zoom? I don't mean to harp on the zoom. I'm sure they had a reason for it. Like, I'm sure that was a decision that they made. It just doesn't sit well with me. What you can see underneath my character right here is one of the artifact shards that you might be able to find. Unfortunately, this level is looking fully looted. Okay. Teleporter's almost done. Let me try to zoom back to it as fast as we can, and we will get out of here. That one was not super efficient. Getting a little sloppy. We do have 2 boss items sitting over here on the right. One is a red whip. That's going to increase my movement speed. The other, I don't know what it's called, but it increases my HP and regen. So a big fan of that yet again. We're getting pretty tanky on our Huntress right now. All right, this is the level I die on the most. This is one before the final level, I believe. So let's see how we do. The boss for this stage is just such a good combatant. Also, the lava does make it a bit more difficult for me to traverse, but also these enemies here. Let's go ahead and fire our equipment at them, just get some bleeds in place. That bison that just spawned in on the left side is an absolute monster. Those are in Risk of Rain 2 as well. You started seeing them on the snow level. The problem with them in this game is the reaction is so fast. That charge is so fast, and it does so much damage. It can end that bison right there could end this run on his own if he really wanted to. Some elites are spawning on me, so I'm just going to bail out of that. Was trying to farm some early money, but those guys are pretty tanky. We do have a damage chest above us for 237 if we want to make our way up there. Throw that. Was hoping for a bit better boomerang. He teleported over to me. That's good. Equipment. Bring the equipment back. Okay, great. Crap. I'm stuck in the lava. Keep jumping. I don't know what that noise is down at the bottom. Someone's taken a... Oh, enemies fell into the lava, and that's their chip damage sound from that happening. How soothing. Teleport arrow off to the left. As you can see, this level's very vertical, and it can be difficult to get up to that top level. The item we just looted gives us some stomp damage if we jump on enemies. I've never seen it be that good, but a fucking Goomba stomp build I think could be pretty funny to watch. Teleporting back because I want to get some damage in on this bison on the left side of the screen. If we can deal good damage to him, we'll get enough money to then hopefully pop open that chest above them. As you can see, as you teleport between levels, the game does get more difficult with each teleport too. And I really feel that. Like, I think these enemies are super hard compared to what we were just fighting a moment ago. And you can see the bisons are just charging nonstop at me. I lost half health right there from just 2 of them. And that can happen so very quickly. I am going to attempt to move left to get this chest, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get it. This is really starting to get very claustrophobic. There's my shot. We took it. We made it. We looted another one of the activatable items. I'm going to very quickly just try to grab that chest and leave. It's another Goomba Stomp item, so I'm going back for it. Here we go. Grab it and go. Okay. There's an environmental log to my left. I am not stopping for that. Teleporter here. I'm going to start it now. I want to get out of this place. I hit the gamble. Oh, no. So the boss was probably too large to spawn up here, so they moved it somewhere else. That's not the best sign. That's not the most encouraging thing. I'm trying to get bleeds on all these guys that are chasing me. There's a monstrous amount of enemies up there. And it looks like we're traversing back down to the bottom of the level where we were trying to loot earlier. I don't know what the cremator is. Oh, yes, I do. These guys are run enders. They do so much damage. I'm going to try to kind of hang out on the far side here and see if that'll work for me. Like, see if I can just shoot from here. I'd really like that. Looks like it is connecting, but they're making their way over. So this is not a safe place. And these guys throw bombs like crazy. I'm dying. Leave. Okay, good. Okay, good. Good start. Going left as fast as I can. Oh, no, we're not. That is the end of our run. As you can see, this game is very hard. There was one more level and a boss after this, but we did not make it today. If you have any advice for fighting this boss, the artillery guy, they end my run more so than anything else. If you don't like the idea of these random items, like I said, there is an artifact of command that you can turn on. This is my preferred way to play the game and test out stuff, so you can really like get a build going. What happens if you get 10 bleeds on the Huntress? Is that good for the Huntress? It's way easier for me to theory craft and figure those things out with the artifact of command. There is a secret to unlocking that. It took me so long to get it, but I mostly play with that since I unlocked it. I hope you guys enjoyed this first look. I've been playing this game all week over on Twitch trying to get my bearings, and I think I'm finally getting better. If you want to see more, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button to show your support. And we'll be back here on the channel very soon.